The world of Formula One was once again shaken by an honest and powerful statement from Maranello. Ferrari team principal Fred Vasseur finally revealed what had only been whispered about in the paddock. In a rare admission for a Scuderia leader, Vasseur openly acknowledged the enormous challenges Lewis Hamilton faced in his first season with Ferrari. Furthermore, he revealed a significant change in direction for the entire Ferrari project. Does Vasseur's frank admission mean that Hamilton's time at Ferrari is at a pivotal point? Let's discuss it. For the first time, Ferrari is no longer trying to gloss over or cover up the difficulties they are experiencing. Instead, Fred Vasseur openly positioned the 2025 season as a painful and stressful yet crucial learning phase for the team's future. This season is a crucial bridge to Ferrari's major reset, fully geared toward the new Formula One regulatory era in 2026. For Lewis Hamilton, this stance is more than just public defense from his boss. Moreover, Vasseur's statement signals that Ferrari is finally thinking long-term and prioritizing technical foundations and strategy over emotional reactions that often sacrifice consistency. Rather than downplaying the problems that emerged in the 2025 season, Vasseur admitted that Ferrari and Hamilton lacked in a crucial yet narrow area. Margins. Tenths, even hundredths of a second, proved enough to drop a starting position, disrupt a strategy, and ruin a race weekend. Vasseur emphasized that Hamilton's problem wasn't raw speed. Instead, the Ferrari failed to provide Hamilton with the consistency and clarity he needed to perform at his best, especially under high-pressure conditions like qualifying. This admission aligns with Hamilton's complaints throughout the season that the car was often difficult to read and lacked consistency. Ferrari now acknowledges that minor inefficiencies in various systems, ranging from aerodynamics and setup to communication, resulted in substantial losses. Vasseur's statement is even more significant when considered in light of the revised cost cap. With transportation and logistics costs now included in the budget, Ferrari can't haphazardly ship major upgrades to each race anymore. Delaying major components like the new floor until the European races is a sign of maturity, not indecision. Ferrari wants to ensure that every upgrade is thoroughly validated before being shipped, abandoning the reactive approach that has been their Achilles heel for years. This represents a sharp shift in philosophy, quality over quantity. Vasseur also predicts that the start of the 2026 season will be highly volatile and uncertain. Unlike in 2025, when the pecking order remained relatively consistent from Bahrain to Abu Dhabi, and team hierarchies rarely shifted drastically, the new technical regulations are believed to cause significant fluctuations across the grid. Performance could change from one race to the next, or even from one weekend to the next. In such a situation, teams that can react intelligently and with discipline rather than simply being aggressive or reactive will be in the best position. Accurately reading development directions, making astute technical decisions, and maintaining internal stability will be key. This is where Lewis Hamilton's experience becomes highly relevant. He is a driver who has proven he can thrive in an environment with strategic clarity, clear communication, and a strong working structure, something Ferrari is now, for the first time in years, trying to build. The most surprising part of Vasseur's statement was his openness to discussing potential changes to Hamilton's inner circle, including the position of race engineer. This wasn't an attack on Riccardo Adami. Rather, it was an admission that Ferrari had underestimated the significant differences in work culture between Mercedes and Ferrari. Vasseur candidly mentioned differences in software systems, technical language, work habits, and internal processes as variables affecting performance. This was a rare admission from Maranello, which has historically been reluctant to reveal its inner workings. More importantly, Ferrari is now willing to adapt to Hamilton rather than forcing him to conform. This represents a fundamental shift in philosophy. In modern Formula One, communication isn't just a tool, it's a performance parameter. The 2026 regulations introduce active aerodynamic modes, far more complex hybrid energy management, and reduced aerodynamic loads. This will make the window for decision-making increasingly narrow. In this environment, any confusion over the radio will directly result in lost lap time. Ferrari's decision to re-evaluate its communication structure demonstrates a proactive and self-critical approach. Vasseur revealed that Ferrari deliberately sped up development of the 2026 power unit, despite the risk of encountering reliability issues early on. This move wasn't reckless, but rather a calculated strategy. Ferrari wanted to validate the core engine architecture quickly, then shift its focus to peak performance and technical detail optimization. For Lewis Hamilton, this approach was a significant signal. For years, he had emphasized that the transition to hybrid regulations was about more than just raw power. It was also about drivability, consistency, and stability of engine response across a wide range of conditions. A predictable engine is the foundation of driver confidence, especially in the new era of aerodynamics where a car's balance can drastically change from one corner to the next. Ferrari didn't stop at just the technical side, though. The Maranello-based team actively lobbied the FIA regarding crucial details of the 2026 engine regulations. This political and technical move demonstrated the team's determination to not fall behind from the start of the new regulatory cycle. Hamilton has learned this costly lesson throughout his career. In modern Formula One, victories are often decided long before the starting lights go on, at the negotiating table and in the development room. Ferrari's launch and testing strategy for 2026 reflects this philosophy as well. The car will be introduced with a base specification that focuses on mileage and reliability rather than immediate performance. This is not conservatism, but rather risk management. With a tight testing schedule, an early failure could be far more damaging than a late upgrade. Most striking of all is Vasseur's implicit message: Lewis Hamilton is not a token signing. Ferrari would not overhaul its systems, processes, and internal structures if it were not intent on building something sustainable. Vasseur's tone has also changed. He's not defensive, he's not emotional. He talks about evaluation, adaptation, and process, a sharp contrast to Ferrari's previous leadership era, which often swung between denial and over-optimism. The implication is clear. If Ferrari adheres to this philosophy, Hamilton will enter a new regulatory era in which instinctive execution is favoured over simply surviving chaos. However, this doesn't guarantee a championship. However, he emphasised one crucial point: the conditions under which elite performance can grow sustainably. Fred Vasseur's statement doesn't negate the failure in 2025. Instead, he places it within a larger narrative as a phase of reconstruction, not a sign of decline. Is Ferrari building a champion with Hamilton, or merely postponing the acknowledgement that the project has failed? Share your thoughts below